Hey, Exiles, welcome to the final scheduled podcast for Path of Exile 2 0.4. I am here with XTheFarmerX to not only talk about the fate of the Val and the last of the Druids, but his journey as a Path of Exile 2 content creator. I've had multiple people in the chat say I have left the best person for last, so we'll see how this podcast goes. Farmerman, how you doing today?
I knew it was a good idea to pay those chatters to write some good comments in there early. It's just good to see your investments pay off. I'm doing good. Snow day. Not that it really affects me, but it's just nice to be in the snow and cozy. So I'm doing great.
Are you a big snow guy? Do you like going in the snow, or do you just like staying inside as it's snowing outside and just watching it?
I grew up in the snow, and my parents were really not big fans of turning on the heat high. So I hate like being cold. So I like just looking at the snow.
Okay, I get that.
So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Were they frugal? So they just like to save the money? Or they're like, guys, it's just a bit of snow. It was the frugality.
It was a kind of combination of just like, they're just like toughen up. Like, it's just cold. Like just put on a jacket kind of thing. And
a jacket, a blanket, some fuzzy pajamas, anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. I'm lucky enough. We're not in that era anymore because my parents were the exact same way. They're also during the summer. We get really hot summers here. They would just be open up the windows, parents, and let the air flow through. So it's like 83 degrees inside the house and everybody's sweating. And they're like, just go stand next to the window. Okay. Take off clothes. Just wear less clothes and you'll be fine. So I'm fortunate enough to have AC on all summer long. Yay. Good spot.
That's the way to live.
100%. All right, man. Well, I'm well aware of your content. I actually got shown your very first video that popped the heck off during 0.1 by my boss. He was like, have you seen this XTheFarmerX dude? He has this really cool video. And he sent it to me. I was like, no, I've never actually seen this. This is really fascinating. And you've taken off. I was showing my wife the other day. I'm like, he's already at 57,000 subscribers. He just started like a year ago. This guy is going crazy. So for people who might know your name, okay, they've heard of XTheFarmerX before, but they don't know the dude behind it. Can you give people like a little synopsis of who you are and what you do for PoE2 and content in general?
Yeah. So, I mean, I started off as just like a trade Andy guy who just like only does hideout warrior shit, crafting, that kind of stuff, like flipping. And I pretty much still do that a lot, but I play the game a little bit now. I leave the hideout kind of thing every once in a while. Yeah, but I don't know. These days, I like to. Oh, so my thing really is just like the zero to mirror stuff. Like I like to just start. Like I don't know about you, but I don't really like being super strong in these kind of games. It feels like the journey is more. It's more the journey than the destination. And like once you kind of get to that point where you're like super rich and you can just like one shot everything, never die. It's like, what are we doing? Then you start asking like the existential questions of like, why are we here?
100%.
So I like to just start over at that point. And I think a lot of people get a kick out of that too, because, if zero to mirror, right? Like if you're already someone who's like pretty rich, then you can know how to finish off and like get even richer. Or if you're just starting off, I can kind of show you like how I go about starting off and how I accelerate really quickly from like, 0 div to like 100 div within like a day kind of thing.
Yeah. I totally agree on the point of having the crisis when you're just sitting there clicking buttons, screen explode, and you're like, well, this is kind of like cookie clicker, and that is when I get burnt out. I do like the challenge, and it's rare that I get a character to that point super fast, but once I hit that point, I'm bouncing from, it doesn't matter if it's PoE2 or PoE1 or another game, I'm playing something else because that's a little boring. But the other part that I'd really like to touch on is the way you've crafted this series, Zero to Mirror. It's not only entertaining, but it's so educational. And you touched on that. Like you're teaching people all throughout the process. I have to ask, the way that you lay out those videos and your guide videos, are you like a teacher in real life or something? Or like, you're really good at explaining things, man. I have to say, you break it down into layman's terms, and this is complex stuff, and you're able to just synthesize it and ship it to people like myself who aren't that smart and can't lay out these things, in a great way. So do you have any background with that, or you just click some
No.
Oh, what?
No, well, like the zero to mirror stuff, I have an editor. His name is Tatsu. He's really, really good. And he helps me like pull the clips and all that stuff and put everything together and edit it really well. But for the guide stuff, I don't know. It feels kind of like I've so many, what it is? I have a lot of people in chat asking me questions all the time. So like, I already have a good idea of like what they're confused about and like what to focus on for like every craft and stuff like that. So like, for example, every single video I'll price check things. And that's because like at least like 300 times a day, someone's coming to my chat and be like, dude, I crafted this ring. Like, you price check it for me. Like, there's nothing on the market. And you look at it and you're like, what the fuck is this? This is a piece of shit.
That's me.
But at the same time, it's like, here's all you have to do. Like, all you have to do is like plug in the the appropriate stats. Like, for example, if you have like a wand, like a staff, and it's like decent, it's like whatever, +5 or plus whatever, and then it has like all attributes, like reduced attributes in there, like reduced requirement of attributes.
Yeah.
It's like no one cares about that stat. If you plug that into the price check, it's gonna make it. It's just gonna reduce the pool of items that you can look at so much, and then everyone's like, "Holy shit! Since there's no other items like it, this must be worth a mirror, right?" And it's like, I got bad news for you, buddy.
100%. Every ethics matters. Yeah. A lot of my friends, they were wondering. They really are into the game, the crafting game, this league. And my brother especially, he is a flipper now, dude. He's a flipper, and I mentioned before, he even was a little bit of a bomber, too, with belts earlier in the league, which, bad man, really bad man. But they have been...
Landmine.
He was a landminer, dude. He was bad.
Lock him up.
Dude, he fell for it, and he's like, this is legal, and I fell for it? You know what? Screw it. I'm not doing anything terrible. People can read, and if they don't read, it's on them, because he did the same thing. So yeah, he's pretty funny like that. But everybody's like, oh, I'm seeing all these highlight videos on YouTube, and it's just the people just showing their cool items, and they're getting stuff donated to them by chat, and no one's actually doing it themselves. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, there's this guy who has this series, Zero to Mirror, and he has all these educational videos. Dude, they are loving your stuff. They are obsessed. And now they're posting screenshots, 300 div trade, 900 div trade, 1200 div trade. And they're like, this is farmer. I'm just going through. I'm going through. It's awesome to see. I especially loved, I haven't seen any this league, but last league you did the 1 div, end div, like 100 div or something like that for body armors. And I thought, such a good idea, dude. Are you coming up with these ideas yourself, or is your editor, masterminding with you behind the scenes?
No, I mean, honestly, like, I play a lot of video games, so I kind of like, before I was a content creator, right? I was just like a gamer, so, and I'm a sweat, so I would always be like trying to like min-max shit and like look up guides on like how to play the game properly and like build off of that. So I just spent a lot of time like for example, RuneScape or like a lot of games like that. There's like always an economy, and it's always just interesting. Like, I'll watch a lot of like content creators, and like I'll just have in the back of my head like, oh, like these guys are doing this with their videos, and like, why can't I just do a similar format, or why can't I just like pull away from that kind of thing.
Right. What made PoE2 like click with you and say instantly, all right, because you started making content. I think it was a couple weeks, maybe a month into 0.1. That's the beginning of your channel. What made it say, hey, this is for me. This is the game I'm gonna blast off with. Even, I don't know if you thought that with your first video, but you blasted off, man. So
I actually did think that. So before that, no, I mean, like, I had that in mind. Like, okay, like if this video does well, then I can actually consider like doing this, as like a, like I can actually just like go into this and like make a bunch of YouTube videos and like become a content creator kind of thing. And but before that, I was actually like trying to be a professional TFT player. So that's teamfight tactics, not like the
the trade Discord. Yep.
Yeah. So I was, for like a couple years, I was just like, playing in tournaments and that kind of stuff. And it just so happened, like, I actually wasn't going to play PoE2 at all, but my friends actually talked me into it. There were a bunch of like people who'd never played an ARPG really before, and they were getting into it. It's like, really beginner friendly and stuff. And I was like, I play a little bit of PoE1. Like, I know I will get too addicted to this game. So like, I'm not going to play it because like, I have to like get ready for the next TFT set, blah, blah, blah. And finally they talked me into it, and I was like, fuck, I'm too addicted. Like, everything I worried about was going to happen is going to happen. But I'm also like really rich in the game. And I was just like, you know what? I have like 5 more days before the TFT season starts. And like, I should have already started prepping for that, but like, fuck it. Like, I'll just try out like making like a YouTube video on what I've been doing in PoE. And if that does well, like, I'll consider it. Right. But it was just like a small thought in my head. I wasn't really like, I didn't actually think it was going to happen, but I YOLO'd a video, and actually like the first day it didn't really do that well. So I was like, whatever, like no big deal. I'll just go play some online poker. And I just DJ and played poker. And then I, on Monday, like it was the weekend. On Monday, I was like, all right, whatever, time to prep for the new set. And I checked the video again. Like one of my friends actually sent me something. They're like, holy shit, it's popping off. And I was like, oh shit, okay. I'll keep playing PoE for a little bit longer. Like maybe I'll just skip this set and try and go in on it. And yeah, ever since then, I've been hooked. It's I mean, you probably understand this, but my first video that like did well after that, I was like, I think for like literally like 40 hours, I didn't sleep because I was just like checking the views like constantly. Like every comment, I was just like, oh yes. It's like someone responded, like someone wrote a comment, like I'll respond to them, blah, blah, blah. It was like so addicting. And content creation it's two ways, like it's really easy to get addicted to the content, but I feel like creating it is also really, really addicting itself too.
You're 100% on point, dude. You're describing my first experience with the video that set off my channel. It was the same way. I had a few videos before on my channel. It wasn't my very first like yours, so it's I think a little bit different. So I had 200 subs or something. I made a video, posted it, I premiered it. One person watched the premiere live. It was me on my main private account, and I checked it after a couple hours and it had 3 views, and I posted it to the PoE subreddit at the time. And I was like, maybe I'll get a couple hundred views from there. And I went to bed, came back the next morning. My post had been downvoted into oblivion on the Path of Exile subreddit, saying this guy sucks. He's the worst. I hate his content. This is a dumb essay. Why is his voice like that? All this stuff. And so I was really sad. And then I checked the video after work, and it was at like 20,000 views. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And then I get a message from my coworker, bro, you're on Asmongold's stream right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it's a whirlwind, man. And I had that bug just like you. I was like, all right, I want to keep doing this. Like, it's so much fun. It's addicting. So you really went into it. Is it your full-time thing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. It is. Sorry.
It is. No, yeah, you're killing it. Dude, with the streams too. So there's the YouTube side, right? Or the video side. And then there's the stream side. Dude, your streams are crazy. Your concurrent viewers and crap on Twitch and YouTube. How do you, I've watched some of your streams, so I kind of know, but how do you keep your viewers engaged? Like, do you have any tricks up your sleeve? Anything you think you do differently than others?
I'm just, I mean, like you probably tell from this our conversation right now, I love to just yap about random shit. I can talk all day. So I don't know. And also I'm kind of, how do I describe this? I'm kind of like Haley will say that I'm a dick, but I like to say like I'm mischievous. So like, sorry, Haley's my girlfriend, but yeah, I like to just like mess with people and like just like a fuck. That sounds toxic.
Like a playful sort of way,
like a playful way. Exactly.
I get your vibes, but no, I totally get that because yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. I think there are some people who will do it in a jerk sort of way. Then there are some people who will do it in mischievous, like playful. Like when I see your clips, I'm like, that dude's just messing around. That's some good stuff. He's playing with his chat. He's playing with this other dude. Playing with this other dude, man. Phrasing. But you know what I mean? I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And I think that's nice. I think that's nice as opposed to like the really loud, toxic people, or just like the people who are sitting, chilling, laying back. Right? It's that nice, middle ground of engagement. So I think the yapping and the mischievousness is that's the key, man. Key. Good. Really good.
Yeah, I'm a rage baiter. I mean, I remember I was in I think it was sushi stream, and it was like when I just started streaming, I like just made like a XCD chat. And oh yeah, I remember now. He was like doing something wrong with the craft, and I was like trying to learn about crafting more in PoE1. So I asked him like, "Hey, like, why are you doing this?" And he was just like, "Listen, like you're like a new content creator. Let me let you in on like one of the rules of the trade, And he just told me you gotta start rage baiting your chat more. And I was like, okay, I can do that. That's easy. That's easy for me. So if you want to blame someone, blame Sushi.
Okay. So you're a big rage baiter then. Big rage baiter.
Yeah.
All right. So when you first you said you played PoE1 before you played PoE2. When you first played PoE1 on stream, how did that go? Were you rage baiting a lot, playing up anything, or I'm curious to hear how that went.
Well, here's the thing is when I played PoE1, it was like 10 years ago. It was early.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It was back when like I remember someone made a video about like farming the Act 3 zone, the boss, the Vol Protector guy with
Piety? Oh,
rarity.
okay. Got it. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Act 4. Is that Act 4?
Act 4. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
In like the first zone that you could
Yeah, the
access.
dried lake or whatever it's called.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And like that was like a meta for me, was just like getting rarity on my gear and farming that zone. But like, but just to say, like I was a noob. Like I was the kind of guy in PoE who just like get to endgame like level 85 and then be like, I'm too broke for this. Fucking, I'm rerolling a new character.
Right.
That kind of thing, you know.
Okay.
So I never actually got to experience like PoE1, kind of like how it is now.
Yeah.
So my first PoE1 stream, it was just like, I was just like, what's going on? like, what do I do with this money?
Yeah, that's got to be hectic.
But yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, a lot. So, like I said, I know a lot of people who really watch your content. I've watched a lot of your guides stuff. I really appreciate the crafting stuff. Do you think that anybody has misconceptions about the type of content you do? Especially, you are king of clip videos. Lots of XTheFarmerX clips. You know, do you think people misconceive who you are, what you do, what you represent at all?
I think definitely in a few ways. Like, I think people think that like I'm cheating.
That's why I really like your content, because I don't think you're really cheating.
Yeah, people think that I'm like RMTing or I'm having people like buy items in my shop and blah 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 blah. And yeah, my question is, how did they find out? Like, how did they figure it out so quickly? No, yeah, I mean, like I'm not, and so one thing that I'm actually looking forward to do in PoE1, or I mean, I can do it in PoE2 as well, but I want to do like a off stream run, because that's what everyone's saying. Is like, because like I'm on stream, people are like, you know, like my viewers are like buying out my items and blah 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 blah. Like do it off stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think it'll be like, I actually did it in PoE2 as well, and it took me like less time to do it just because
you're not engaging.
Like when what's that?
You're not engaging with chat all the time. You know?
Yeah. And also a lot of the times, like if I do a craft or something on stream, there'll be like a few people who like will just like snipe the craft and just do the same thing, and then it just kills the margins. Yeah, I mean, it's like that's why they're there watching, right? Is because they want to learn. So it makes sense. But I guess the misconception is that like it's a lot harder to do those challenges on stream than it is to do it off stream, because like there are definitely people who like are like, you know, like Fubgun stream, who like just go into his shop and just buy whatever, right? we've all seen some sus, you know, not sus, but like we've all seen Fubgun, like like someone will buy like a piece of shit for like a mirror, right? But
they're just playing that's with them. That's all. They're just playing. Having a good old time. No, that makes sense. Man, the cheating thing is interesting. I know you were a Blackwood enjoyer, because I saw you come into Second Wind and do some Blackwood stuff instantly. Man, were you a Holton enjoyer too? Were you a Holton boy?
No, time out. Listen, Blackwood, first of all, is ethical. Okay, Blackwood. You should think of Blackwood as like, you know, your local farm. Like you tell you the name of your cow, that kind of thing. And then Holton was like a factory farm monstrosity, like the KFC chicken with 8 legs. Yeah, I did a little bit of Holton, but I never bought
Just a little bit.
very little. Yeah. Because I never bought the carries, which I feel like was the really unethical part, right? Because it's like, if you're low level, you have to like be like killing yourself in game all the time. It's like it's not like, it was definitely more efficient, but it wasn't like so much better than you know, mapping it is now. But
right.
Yeah, I did a little.
It's okay. I had to ask. I've like talked to everybody about this at this point, and people have convinced me that I was like, ban the Holton users, and I have changed I've changed my view on this. This is the evolution this league for me. So, but yeah, I saw the Blackwood stuff. It definitely was way different than Holton. Holton was like, it was the same seed every single time, and the sharing one too. I didn't even know about the sharing until after it had been fixed. When I found out about it, I was like, whoa, that is some crazy stuff, man. But hopefully GGG is, you know, a little more cognizant next league of the possible, you know, zone resetting shenanigans that can go on, because man, did that run rampant through the PoE community this league. So from my perspective, I'm super chill. You know, I'm not zooming, I'm not making a lot of currency, although this league I'm richer than I ever have been before because of inflation. But you're on the total opposite end of that. You're probably making thousands of divines, looting mirrors, all this stuff, making mirrors. How is it in your like stream and community? Like, how were the vibes? Were people pissed? Were they happy? Are they like, oh, filthy rich, this is so cool? Or what was going on this entire league so far, like the first 2 months?
Honestly, I think it was a combination of that. You know, it was like the people who abused it were like, fuck yes, this game is awesome. And then the people who like were a little bit late, or like they just didn't want to like invest all that time setting up the temple, those guys were for the most part like, fuck, this is so stupid, like, nerf this, nerf that. And I think they're both right. Like I think the people who were calling for it to be nerfed and who were saying it's stupid are like, they're completely right. It was like way too overpowered. And the people who were having fun, they were just like, they were the victims, like those guys were the victims. The people who were actually in the temple, I'm a victim, okay? Because my dopamine receptors may never recover from this. I was getting like 4 tinks in one room at certain times. And like I had one monster drop 2 tier 1s, or sorry, 2 tier 0s. So yeah, like temple it's crazy.
Dude, you just brought up a point that I made a Twitter post about it today. I'm so worried for next league because of the receptors, the dopamine receptors. There's no way this is going to go core, right? They're going to make nerfs, and the next league mechanic is not going to be like this. What is going, like, are people going to realize? I'm also seeing a ton of people saying, I never thought that I'd be able to sell an item for a Mirror of Kalandra, and here I am selling it for a mirror. Wow, this game is amazing. It's only because of inflation. That's the only reason you're selling items for mirrors for, 500, 1,000, 5,000 divines. And the people who don't realize that, man, it's going to be just a snap back to reality in the next league. And so do you think that you're going to be getting a lot of questions of why am I so poor this league? Why are my items not selling for 500 div 2 weeks in? Like, how will you react to that? Like, I don't know. It's going to be rough for GGG, I think.
I mean, me personally, I think I don't care, like, or it won't affect me adversely, just because like if I do crafting stuff, it's just like the crafters always make the most money, so I'll still be rich in a way. Like I'm still Elon Maing it next league. But and I also like, I'm someone who I like to play the crafting game more than like the mapping game. So not getting the tinks for me won't hurt as badly because for the first like few weeks of the league, I'm just crafting anyways. But I think for the average player, it's going to feel terrible. It's going to feel so bad. Like, for example, this last PoE1 league, like obviously it had a lot of other issues, but like the biggest problem was like we went from, was it mercenaries before, where you had inherently like 50% more quant, right? Just because you had a mercenary, and then also like really, really good farming strategies. Like strong boxes were good, Abyss was insane, Blight was insane, like all this really good farming and like strategies to Breach. And not only that, they nerfed a lot of like the like it was like a 50% nerf across the board for ground loot. It was an insane just nerf to loot. And this last league was the worst performing PoE1 league of all time, I'm pretty sure, in terms of retention rate.
It was. Yeah. I was shocked to see that because I skipped Merc. I skipped Mercenaries of Charthus. So it was the first PoE league I had skipped ever. And I came back with Keepers and I was loving it, but I was mostly staying out of the conversation. So then I went into the subreddit and into the videos, and everybody's worst league ever. This is bad. This is bad. And then I looked at the numbers and I saw the same thing. Huge retention drop, right? And do you think it was due to a combination of the less ground loot and for people like myself, I loved the Genesis tree and the fact that I could get really good gear pretty easily. Yeah. Like, but other people, I think that got rid of the big chase in Path of Exile 1 for them. Like they weren't getting, they were getting close to BIS items day 2, 3, getting 6 links in the first few hours. Like, does that destroy the chase in PoE1? You know,
I think that's a great example of like destroying the chase for sure. Cause it's like, I think PoE1 players are sweatier in general than PoE2 players. Like they're more min-maxy. So I think, first of all, if your min-max farm is making you like 20 div an hour, when last league was making you like 60, it's like, if you're a sweat, that's just so painful to do. I think PoE2 won't have this issue as much next league because I think people are like more casual in PoE2. Like you're making your build because it's like you want to try a new build and have fun. It's not like your only thing you care about is like how much div you're making per hour and like progressing towards like this min max version of your build. I think a lot of players actually just like enjoy playing the game and like to take it slow, or dad gamers, whatever, like that kind of thing. So I don't think it'll actually be as bad for PoE2, but it definitely felt for me like, the league mechanic was kind of cool. Like you're saying, like it is kind of like the Genesis tree. Like that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Stupid
mechanic
walls.
itself did. What's that?
I
Okay,
hated the walls. Jeez, man. I was so
Yeah.
pissed. Oh,
The walls are
ugh.
bad.
Yeah.
But that is something that I'm worried about. Like I've got no clue how it's gonna be, because like obviously you want everyone to just enjoy PoE2, especially if you're a PoE2 content creator, right?
100%. Yeah.
I do worry about this kind of rebound.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too with keepers, the PoE2 league was very close by as well. So I know there is also the idea that the games, PoE2 is very different from PoE1 and PoE2 is way deeper. But I do think that the pool of people who will jump from PoE1 to PoE2 is larger than a lot of people think. And I think that contributed to that big dip that we saw with keepers. And that's also what, like Connor, I think he made the video talking about, it's almost unfair to PoE1 to have the PoE2 release 1 month after, or whatever, 6 weeks after, because it doesn't give people the time to play it, So it's almost like forcing people to go and play PoE2 instead of PoE1. So the fascinating situation that GGG had themselves in. And I'd love to hear your opinion on the differences between PoE1 and PoE2, or mainly, do you think that PoE2 is actually an evolution of Path of Exile 1 right now? Like a big evolution? Or do you think it's kind of the same game wearing a different skin? It's not as deep, but it's much more akin to PoE1 than it was initially pitched. Do you feel that way after playing both games for a good amount of time past year?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I don't know if like these are popular or unpopular opinions. I don't really like go on the Reddit that much anymore or anything like that. So
good idea.
Yeah, for my own mental health. So I'm not sure if this is a popular opinion or not. I feel like it's not, but I think the games are like pretty much the same. Like in their essence, I feel like they're like the exact same game, because it's like the point of the game is like you have to slog through campaign, which if you're a sweat actually can be kind of fun. Or if you're like, I think campaign is like something that it's all about perspective, right? If you like just enjoy going through campaign, like I know a lot of people do, then like campaign's great. And if you're a sweat and you just want to get to maps and blast, and like campaign's also great, because it's like, you can get better at campaign. Then it becomes more like a sport where it's just like you're trying to improve and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, at least.
I totally agree with you, dude. Yeah. It's growing to be a more popular opinion. I feel like they're converging. They're far faster than I anticipated. I spoke with another content creator last week, and he kind of posed to me, well, you didn't think this was going to happen? And I thought, no, well, yes, but not year 1. Maybe year 10, right? But so quickly, the games do have some fundamental differences, but they are so much more similar than I thought they were going to be in 2023, 2024. Even after 0.1, I thought, all right, GGG, they're going to go in, they're going to make a bunch of radical changes. It's going to be a very, nah, man. And the thing is, too, I freaking love PoE2, and I'm playing it so much. So it's like my mind was telling me, you want a different game, dude. You want a different game. But here I am playing it, loving it, much like yourself. So I'm coming to appreciate it more and more by the patch, honestly. So
yeah. I think they were trying, maybe like at the start, they were trying to just do something different than PoE1. Because I remember it feeling a little bit more like Dark Souls-y when I was playing like the first like couple days. Because I was like, it took me like an hour to kill Geonor.
Yep, me too, dude. Yep.
And I think maybe they just realized like that's not what people want. People just want like PoE1, or like I think a lot of casual gamers who I think that is why PoE2 is so successful, is because people were like, okay, PoE1, like let me get into an ARPG. What the fuck is this passage tree? Like, what is all this stuff? This is like, you need a PhD in order to play the game properly, like let alone get into crafting, right? So I think PoE2 is like very, very similar to PoE1, except I think it's just easier for those like newer players to get started, like reworking like the skill gem system, doing all this stuff at the beginning just to make it easier to get into, I think is really like the only difference between the two games, at least. And like in what they are at an essence, and like where they're both headed to, you know, like obviously PoE2, like no end game, and it's like not as well fleshed out yet as PoE1. But I think like ultimately, like it's like the same thing, right? It's like you get through campaign, you go into maps, you blast, or like you get through campaign, go into maps, get some currency, craft, like that kind of thing, right? It's very, very similar. And I feel like, yeah,
It's a humongous reset button. That I feel like that's what it's turned into
yeah,
for grinding your games. It's
exactly.
that reset button to cement PoE2 in the minds of a lot of people. And that is the message that I always hear. You mentioned that you started playing the game because a bunch of your friends who never played ARPGs wanted to play
Right.
PoE2. Same exact thing. And I know it's anecdotal, but I've had it in my personal life. I see this all
Yeah.
across all my comments on the subreddit, on the forums. It's a bunch of people who either played like PoE1 or maybe Diablo 3 or Diablo 4 or have never touched ARPGs. They've seen how much like traction is around this, all like the
Mhm.
gameplay footage, all the and they
Yeah.
think it looks interesting. They give it a go, and a lot of them do get hooked. Or a lot of them are like, all right, this is cool, but I'm gonna let it cook. It's in early access, and I'm gonna come back for 1.0. So I do think, in a sense, the GGG strategy has worked here, even though I think it has either upset or alienated some of the core player base, some of the core PoE player base. I think that's the unfortunate thing that has happened here. And I do understand
Yeah.
because people get really heated about it. You know, I know you intentionally rage bait. I never intentionally rage bait, but somehow I still make it happen, Farmer. I still rage bait the heck out of people, unfortunately. So,
Just start intentionally doing it.
oh
You know,
god,
you
I
might as
can't.
well.
I can't.
You might as well. Trust
I
me. Once
can't.
after that first intentional rage bait hits, oh, it's
Oh.
addicting.
Oh gosh, man. Okay. Speaking of rage bait, grinding your games really likes to punish players currently in the game. As so as someone who's played a bunch of PoE2, do you think there's too much punishment? Or are you kind of okay? I'm especially talking about screw the campaign. I think the campaign is pretty much fine in terms of punishment. That's whatever.
Yeah.
But in Endgame, you got all these things that stack up, right? The penalty for death when it comes to XP, not using
Mm,
tablets on maps. You know, if you fight a boss in your
mm,
map and you die to the boss, you lose all the content on that, blah, blah, blah. Do you
hmm.
think that's too much, or do you like that they're standing strong and basically saying, no, we want our game to be giga punishing. You got to learn to play.
Yeah, that's a good question. This is one of those where like I definitely have an opinion, but
Do it.
it's like
Rage bait.
with no, it's not a rage bait, but with video games, like especially the design of them, oftentimes like the most intuitive thing is not actually the best thing for the game. And the best example I have of this is like, I mean, I'm assuming you've played League of Legends before, or like,
Dota 2. I hated League. I have
oh,
5,000
one of
hours in Dota
those,
2, my brother.
one of those. All
Yeah,
right.
I am. Yeah. And
Okay, I was
I hate rage baiting. Isn't that crazy? What a crazy dichotomy that is.
yeah. You must have a strong mental though, forged in the fires.
Eh, working on it.
But League of Legends, they had a game that was called Earth, which was essentially just like every ability got like 80% cooldown. So like you were just spamming your abilities on like every like half second pretty much. It was really, really fun. It was an incredibly popular game mode, but it turns out that like that's kind of like the equivalent of like having temples this league, where like you just have like, you know, just divs being like shit out of monsters. It was the same thing for League of Legends with Earth. And what ended up happening was like after Earth ended, like the retent or like when Earth was like while Earth was like going on, they were noticing like a big dropout of players who were playing Earth because it's like that's just too much dopamine. It's like too TikToky, like brain rot kind of thing. But they also noticed that like people were dropping the main game too, because like it's like you're drinking like, you know, you're drinking Coke like all day, and then it's like then now you have to drink a cup of water. You're like fuck this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like everyone would just be like, oh, bring back Earth, but it's like, no, we can't bring back Earth because you have this memory of liking it, but the reality is like when you play it, you're not going to like it again, you know. And
Yep.
then not only that, but you're not going to like normal League of Legends either.
Yep.
So it's really hard to say like, you know, like what the right decision is on all of this, because I would
I
say
get it.
like, why do we only have one life in a map? That's terrible. You know, and like, why, like I'm about to fight a Citadel boss, and this guy can drop me like 9 div of loot guaranteed if I beat him, and I die. It's like, oh god.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like too much, but maybe at the same time, like if you could kill it every time, then those bosses wouldn't. They're like their loot wouldn't be worth as much, and it wouldn't really be worth it to do anymore. But
Right.
it's only there only is that premium there because, you know, it's so hard to do.
There's a lot of
So
tension. Yeah.
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 I've got no clue. But I will say one thing though, is that in a game like an ARPG, where like, especially softcore, most characters aren't going to be like going into maps like unkillable. Like everyone's going to eat like a random one shot because like, first of all, it's like we have no death recaps. We have no clue what's killing us a lot of the time, right? So it just feels kind of like, that's why it feels really bad for me to have like one death. I would say like maybe keep the punishment stuff like on like gear, or like on like, I guess like synergies, like where it's like, if you get this one strength, you have to like eat this weakness too. But the punishing on like the one map per like zone thing, and I don't know, that feels like it's too much, and I feel like most people don't really enjoy that.
I think that's the big one. I'm fine with the XP penalties. I understand that the tablet thing, unless the end game fundamentally changes, it has to stay that way. But the one portal for the max difficulty, that is so frustrating, because we have all experienced the random one shots, the what happened, what did I do wrong? I don't know what I did wrong. What type of damage killed me? Like sometimes it's like a boss slam, but a lot of the times it's not, and it's just what's random pack monsters. And until Jonathan and Mark decide to do the death recap, which they've said we can get 90% of the way there very easily. Guys, do it. I don't care. Do 90%. Okay, that sounds amazing. Until that's in the game, that is just such a that is a quit moment for a lot of players. And that is one of the number one complaints that I now see about the game. It's just, I die. I don't know what's happening. I quit because I can't push the hardest content. And I really want to do that. And I feel like I could, but I just die randomly to these one shots, and I can't make my character uber tanky. So I'm going to do it. I want to build on your League of Legends metaphor, like with the Earth thing. People have this, and it's with the temple too. People keep chasing that high, right?
Yeah.
And they're not getting it in Earth. They're not getting it in a regular League of Legends. So they're quitting, and they're probably going to try to chase a better high, like Dota 2, right? Like they're going to go to, okay, like what is going to outdo League? Oh, okay, it's Dota 2, and then they get really far in Dota 2, they get addicted, they try to go pro, all that stuff, that big journey. So yeah, that's what I'm worried about with Temple, dude. People are going to try to chase the high of Temple, and it's probably not going to happen. And it's going to be an interesting fallout, especially for PoE2 only players. I think if you've played ARPGs before, or you're just kind of immune to it, like I feel like I'm pretty immune to it, like you said you are. When you realize it's all going to change, it's like the economy's completely upended. The way drops are categories are completely upended after having those heights. Going to be a tough one. So
yeah, I think just like understanding a little bit about human psychology too. Like everything we do is just like, it's with like a baseline in mind, right? So like that's why like all those people you were talking about who are like, oh, I just made like a 1200 div sale. Like the reality of the situation is like that 1200 div is like, I think now that's like almost 10% of a mirror. So that like it's literally like 10x inflated. So like that's actually like 120 div sale, which is still like really impressive.
good.
But it's like, it's because we have the baseline expectation of like this should like 120 div is a lot. Now I'm making 1200. Holy shit! Like your dopamine receptors are going crazy.
Yes.
And then the same thing is going to happen next league, where it's like now we have this baseline. Like people are like I want to farm Omen of Light. They're like 30 div each, and I can get like multiple per map. Like holy shit, jackpot, ding ding ding, right? And then next league it's like, okay, Omen of Lights are worth 1 div again. Like why? Like what? It's like, why does my mouth taste so bad all of a sudden?
Exactly.
Right?
Oh, it's going to be wild. Speaking of Omen of Light, are you a fan of the tech that was discovered this league, where you got to pull the monsters out of the Amanamu's void? Do you like sort of like hidden gimmicks like that in the game, or are you like, screw this, GGG? What's going on?
I think there should be like gimmicks like that for sure. But it does feel kind of, I don't know. I like it. I would say I don't like it. I do like that there's more loot, because I feel like PoE2 like desperately needs more loot. It feels kind of rough if you're like at the highest end game juicing and you're not even getting 1 tink per map. You know what I mean? Because then you'd have to imagine the average player is not getting a single tink. Like they're getting 1 tink like every 6 or 7 maps, right? Mm-hmm. So it just feels like I'm like anything where like the loot is buffed in PoE2, I'm a proponent of that. Although I don't like that this was like around for like pretty much 2 patches. And we just found out about it. It might have been like too hard to like of a gimmick, because I remember last league, everyone was like sending me screenshots of like, dude, I just dropped 3 Omen of Lights from like 1 mob. Like, what the hell? And like, And people were just like, wow, you must have just got lucky. Like that's just like RNG, I guess, or something. Like, maybe it was like a bug. But, like no one actually put the like connected the dots of like, oh, it's only happening when you pull out these certain mobs, blah blah blah. But
Wild find. I remember
yeah,
the initial posts about it reminded me of the tower conspiracies from 0-1, where the position of the corpses in the tower pointed toward the nearest citadel. Do you remember that one? That was a good one.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what it reminded me of. I was like, these
Ugh.
people are cooked. This is not real. This is crazy. And then I think I saw DS Lily posted a video and she was like, no, no, look, this is real. And I started doing it. And I think I instantly got like 2 omens of light from my very first one. It was
Yeah,
good. It was good. So yeah, I think I love that they keep adding some crazy rewards to the game, like chase rewards. I think they did a really good job with the temple. I think pretty much all the rewards in there, the new rewards, are
yeah,
bang on point. Like the @Zeri
amazing.
items. I love
Yeah.
the corruption mechanics. It's encouraging me to actually corrupt, which I hate. I hate gambling. Do you like gambling? Are you a gambling fan?
Yeah. Yeah, I love gambling. I'm a DGen for sure.
Do you gamble IRL? We were discussing this before. I know you
Yeah,
said you play online
just
poker.
poker, yeah.
Just poker. Okay, so you use
Just
your skill
poker.
to, outsmart other people.
Well, I just like to have a game where it's like, there's a chance where you have like above a 50% chance of winning, right?
Okay.
Because in like every other game, pretty much, it's like the house always wins, right? All the odds are stacked for the house. So yeah, I like just playing poker.
So
And
with Path of Exile 2, what do you think is your highest thrill gamble that you can do in the game right now from your perspective? Is there one that
right
sticks
now,
out to you? Yeah, one that sticks out.
yeah, for sure. There's two. Getting the +4 on the vertex right now is like insane. Which is just the I forget what it's called, the cultivation, yeah. And then
Tell cultivation
also
arc.
get
Yeah.
it. Mhm.
Yep.
And also the cultivation on the Aziri's body too is also insane because you can get like 1300 ES chess pieces now with like obviously other stats, but
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit of power creep, right? A little bit of power creep for
Just
sure.
a little bit. It keeps happening.
Yeah.
Well, this crafting thing is a big topic that I've discussed with quite a few content creators. Are you you're a tycoon, you got a lot of money. So from your perspective, I know you can probably afford a lot of stuff. Do you think crafting right now is more frustrating or empowering to players? Like, do you think it's in a good place obviously compared to like 0-1 or 0-2, it's in a better
Yeah.
place. But do you think it's in a decent spot now for a variety of players?
I would say it was kind of like 5 steps forward and then like 4 steps back kind of thing with like 0.3 and 0.4.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure I think you might share this opinion with me. I'm not sure, but I I got roasted for saying this last league, but I think it was too easy last league,
I agree.
right? Yeah, it's too easy because you can't have it be 100% deterministic. That kind of like ruins, like there has to be a little bit, like there has to be a little chance there, right? Um, and I was hoping that they would just like make it less OP, like they would nerf the homogenizing orb and turn that into like what is like fossils or what is kind of like the catalyzing omen that we have right now in PoE2, where you put the catalyst on like the ring and then it increases your chance of getting certain mods. Oh, sorry, one second.
You're all good.
And then instead they just gutted it.
They deleted it from the game.
Literally alt F4 it. So I mean, my personal perspective is like people are like, oh, how do I craft this? I'm like, okay, like you don't really like. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to like essentially take 15 bases and try to like get lucky 15 times. And if you hit, you hit. If not, you have to sell it for like a small loss or a profit, like small profit kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like the complexity of crafting is kind of dead now. Like you can guarantee like 2 or 3 stats. But that's it. And then like the rest is kind of just slamming and then going back to 0.1, which is like the whittling. Like whittles like 60 div or something right now.
Right.
So
what do you think the best option probably would have been to keep homogenizing exaltation, but make it a chance for failure essentially instead of the complete success?
Yeah, I think just doing the same thing with just like right now, the way it works with the homogenizing or the catalyzing is it's a 5x chance on 20% quality. So I think they should have just done that. Like make it like a 5x multiplier on the weightings for all of the homogenizing things. And then boom, it's completely solved. Like it's not too easy. And then also it just gives you some determinism, right?
I wonder if they're going to introduce that, with maybe the 0.5 league mechanic or end game to kind of space things out a little bit more. Because there's so much, like right now, they kept it in the game. So much would be tied to Abyss, and maybe that's what, like they're leaving themselves room. That's my positive outlook on it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do agree that the printing was crazy. My friends were doing that last league as well, just following, like literally just, following guides essentially. There was a lot less thrill, I guess is the proper way to put it, than there is now. Right now, it's you get those first 3 or 4 mods that are basically guaranteed, and then it's everybody huddles into the Discord call, and it's just like on the edge, wondering what you're gonna get. So, and it can be devastating or absolutely astounding, depending on the result. So, yeah, totally agree. Okay. So PoE2 Endgame, you mentioned that it's lacking. Everybody pretty much agrees on that. Although I will say this league way better than I thought it was going to be. It had me addicted with like the tablets and the implementation of Abyss. I actually liked it. What do you think is missing from the Endgame that was maybe solved in other ARPGs, maybe like PoE1 or another game that PoE2 is just straight up missing? That you're shocked that GGG just didn't implement from day one.
I mean, honestly, I think the only difference between PoE2 Endgame, or there's a couple, but the major difference, so there's 2 major differences between PoE1 and PoE2 Endgame, and that is primarily in like just like lack of content. So like, we have like 5 things you can farm right now in PoE2. In PoE1, there's like 15, right? So that's just like an issue of time. Like eventually that'll come. Like that's not a problem. The other issue is just on like just dopamine. So that's kind of what I was saying is like in PoE1, this league, you could be making like 20 div an hour, and this was dubbed like the poverty league, right? Like easily 20 div an hour, right? In PoE2, it feels kind of like, okay, you first start in the maps and you're making like all of your money that you're making is coming from like dropping gear, right? And occasionally getting tinks. And then you slowly upgrade your build, and maybe you kill some bosses, you get a lucky drop, that kind of thing. And then boom, you're fully built and you're doing the hardest content in the game. And not only is it like too easy, I wouldn't say it actually is too easy. Like for example, doing like Juiced Abyss, like that's still kind of hard, right? Like there's just random things that just one shot you. But the issue is like before the pullout tech, before like the temple OP stuff, I remember like early in the league, there was a point where like there was that Abyss bug, and then they patched the Abyss bug, and for like 4 days we didn't know about the temple yet, and we were just doing like normal juicing, and it was like 1 div every 3 maps or 1 div every 2 maps, because like just overall juicing got nerfed because no instilling, no desecrating like waystones, like none of that stuff anymore. So I remember it was just like brutal. Like it just didn't feel like enough loot, because it's like, okay, I've reached this late game power like scaling fantasy, and it's like I'm OP now. I can kill almost everything. Like I can do the most difficult stuff, but it's like I'm making like a third of a div per map, and the map takes me like 4 or 5 minutes. Like it just doesn't feel like enough reward for the effort. And I think that is ultimately what's missing in PoE2. Like PoE1, like almost all the end game, like almost all the farms, it's just like, holy shit, I can get so rich off of just doing this. But for PoE2, it just feels kind of like, what are we farming? Like we have all these gear upgrades, but like I actually can't get the currency to farm for them unless I'm like trading.
Yeah, it's not, you're 100%, you're not going to farm raw div unless you're doing temple now. It's like I've had very few like raw div drops this league compared to prior leagues from the Atlas, right? But it's like they took all the divs from regular mapping, stuffed them in the temple, and then now all the value is in everything else. And that you have to trade those currencies for divs that the temple farmers are getting, and then you can buy the items you want. It's like it's a very interesting ecosystem that I'm curious to see if it like completely just shatters in 0.5. I'm sure the temple goes core. It's still going to be a divine printer? Are you going to find other currency items in the game, or is it going to be a kind of a repeat of it? It'll be fascinating. It will. Man. Curious.
GGG special is my guess.
GGG special.
They're gonna take it out back.
Oh my god! You think?
They're gonna homogenizing it? No, they're not. I don't think they're gonna get rid of it. But I think it's gonna be like not competitive. Because whatever they're gonna do for 0.5 is gonna be what they want us to focus on.
What would be the craziest? Currency drops are disabled in the temple. Oh, boom, boom! Look at that! Look, it's a new staple mod there. Or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Goodness,
I
yeah.
thought you said you weren't a good rage baiter. That's
That's a
gonna
good
get
one,
people in
isn't it?
Reddit in arms if
Okay,
they hear that one.
my mind conjures up things, but do I always vocalize them? No, I don't. Okay, so PoE 0.5 is like 3 months away. It's probably going to be like April, maybe even May. We'll see. This conjured this question in my head. Would you still play PoE2 if nothing changed at all for 6 months? Like, would you find content to either create, or would you just be having fun playing it yourself? Or would you probably bounce and wait for the next update? Do you think it's in that state now or no?
You mean like there'd be new league starts but no new content, or like just no new, like just the same league over 6
Nothing.
months?
Maybe there's another private league or something, but it's like
Oof.
baseline, no content, dude. Just chilling for 6 months.
That's tough. I would say probably not. I mean, I would definitely try and find some stuff to do, but it feels kind of like like it just feels kind of like
Long time.
Yeah, league only for me can last like 2 months max before it feels kind of like I'm just milking it,
Right.
and I lose the joy for playing at that point.
I get that. What other games have you been playing? Do you play any other games or just PoE2 right now?
Yeah. So after, like, I'm not gonna lie. I think you kind of briefly talked about this. This has been the first PoE league of any kind, and keep in mind, like since I started YouTube, which has pretty much been a year now, I've been playing like nonstop. I think I went on one vacation just for like a week or something, but besides that, I've been playing video games probably like 90 hours a week. Like disturbing amounts.
Right.
Like, but I'll say this: I haven't gotten burnt out at all until kind of this league, actually.
Okay.
Which is arguably like the most fun PoE2 league. Which is just, I guess, maybe to say that like the temple mechanic, it like all the tinking, like the over dopamine, like whatever. That might be like, I think that was generally what took the toll on me, because like, this was the only league where I felt like, oh, like I played a lot. Like I should take a break and go outside or something.
Yeah.
So
and then it snowed. Dang.
And then it snowed. Yeah.
The overstimulation is rough. I'm a fierce anti short form content person. I understand the evil of making it. I make it, but I am so anti TikTok, and it is brain rot. I see it in the younger generation. I see it in people that are my age and use it. I see it in like my family who's older, and they start to get on the TikTok. And the TikTok, do you hear me? Oh, I'm like saying the Facebook. Goodness gracious.
It's Jover for us. We're unks now.
I know. I got called an unk the other day, and I was like, what is that a term of endearment? No, it's not. It's not. But the attention's it's bad. It's real. I'm worried. Are you a short form content enjoyer? I'm sorry if you are.
Not willingly, it'll be like, oh, like that's cool, like Malcolm in the Middle, like there's a short about that, like let me watch one video of these, and it's like 12 hours later I'm like, fuck. Like I actually always think that, like I'm like you, I avoid short form, that kind of stuff, as much as I can, but like I think like twice in the last like 5 years I like just watched it like a degen for like 6 hours instead of like going to sleep, and I remember thinking like, it's actually Jover for these kids, like there's no way they're like their little brains can like withstand this.
Yeah, I don't blame
they
them.
will not have the self-control to stop, and they also like, it's also going to be the most harmful for them in order to be doing that. So this next generation, that's going to be like a GG, I think.
It is. The focus is done. I'm going to keep my kids off it as long as possible. And any shows, because shows do it now too. The show will trick you. It's a 25-minute kid show, right? You'll turn it on, and then it's like flashing between scenes every 12 seconds. It's not cutting to a different perspective. It's like scene, different character, different thing happening. Look, we have to keep it's like you said, it's Jover for some kids. It's Jover, dude. I don't blame the kids. I don't blame the kids at all. So yeah. Okay, so back to PoE2. Speaking of short form content, if you could summarize Path of Exile 2 in a word, Farmer, what would that word be?
Oh, it's easy. It's just gonna be Gamba for sure. It's Gamba.
Good one.
Like the loot drops are all Gamba. The crafting is all Gamba. It's like that's why people play, right? For those like dopamine spikes, for the Gamba, where you win the Gamba, right?
Yeah. Like a casino. My friend Blaze, he's releasing a video essay about how PoE2 is a casino tomorrow. So I hate casinos, and I think he's totally right. I think it's total Gamba. Every part of it is a casino. All the drops, everything. So,
yeah, for sure.
All right, you mentioned that you don't go on the PoE2 subreddit anymore. What do you think is the Path of Exile take that would get you flamed the most by Reddit? Nobody on Reddit watches my channel, by the way, so you're safe. It's fine. Nobody will share it. You're good. Safe space.
My take on PoE.
Yeah, PoE1, PoE2 doesn't matter. What do you think is like
hot take?
Yeah, give me. I want a hot take from Farm. You've given a lot of hot takes this episode, but what do you think is your spiciest?
I think I guess my hottest take would just be like, I think a lot of people think that like being rich in the game is like hard, or like it's like impossible. I think it's really easy, super easy to do. And if you're not someone who cares about that, then like awesome. Like I don't think that like you should play the game in a way that you should be like, oh, I gotta be as rich as these guys. Like I think that's a bad mindset to have. You know, you can find things that you enjoy, like min maxing. Like I think it's interesting. People like obviously see like min maxing like their build as like a fun thing to do. Min maxing like their character, like building their own character. But I think min maxing like the amount of div you make per hour is also like becoming a trend in this game, like Bub Gun, for example. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah. Bub, stop, please. It's
but I think if you're someone
you mentioned it at the beginning, like a lot more people weren't on that train with PoE2 initially. I think it's starting to trend in that direction, but please continue. Sorry.
No, I agree with you entirely. The trend is definitely going that way. I was actually talking to Pox about this. Because he's like, you guys are OGs. So it's like you know about like a lot of the trends that went on in PoE1 that I don't know about.
I feel like an uncle now. You just called me an OG, dude. People are gonna. That is your take that'll get Reddit to flame you. You just said a second one, bro. Me and OG. Oh God, sorry.
Oh no.
What were you and Pox saying?
Shit. Well, I mean, OG than me, that's for sure. But Pox was telling me that like this trend of like caring about div per hour is actually relatively recent, even in PoE1.
I think so.
And that for the most part, it used to just be about like, getting a build online, like just farming something, like whatever. It didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Exactly. It's kind of like, honestly, that's kind of how I played Diablo 2 as a kid, where it's like you just go on and you like clear some maps, but like you're not like, okay, I got to get through, like I got to only do Act 2 boss, like, and then like the Act 3 boss, and then that's it. It was always just like, oh, like I have my build online. Like I'm going to go like and clear like some bosses. And like, if I get some good loot, then awesome. But that's not like the focus. But now it definitely feels like, Fub is like probably one of the biggest streamer for PoE, like the biggest ARPG streamer, like people who only really play PoE, like the PoE games.
Yep.
So I think you're right. Like it definitely reflects that like in his viewership and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think number one. I think he's been number one since the Path of Exile launch. Like his stream was crazy. People loved seeing all the farming strategies and hopping on the train and all that. My very sad and cynical POV is that it's because people might be suffering a little bit in real life when it comes to currency, but they can hop on the train in PoE2 and follow the guide, and they can get rich. They can. You can follow a step-by-step guide and you can get rich. I thought you also brought up a great point about the whole perception that you can't get wealthy in the game. You can't get enough currency. I think there's a twofold thing going on here. One, in this league, I think the perception that you couldn't do that took hold very fast because of what we discussed earlier, where no div were dropping in maps. It was all from the temple. So it's like, it's the inflation. So it's like, I got to do temple or I'm done. When that wasn't actually the case, you could do other stuff. And you could get very wealthy while they're selling like exceptional bases, doing a little crafting, farming the bones, and the stuff that the temple people were getting. And then it was the fact that the other thing you keenly brought up was that everybody wants to min-max. And you know what was inflating the most this league? It's all the best gear. Being moderately powerful or just powerful has never been easier in PoE2. All that gear is so cheap. But the best gear, dude, oh, that's to the moon. You are like left behind if you are not participating in the best farming strats. So it's like all the lineage supports the top tier lineage, all the best T1 affixes, 6, like you're done. But all the other stuff, it's very cheap. Very cheap.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Farmer, thank you so much. I have one more question I always ask everybody the very first time they're on the pod. All right. Imagine your hair was no longer that beautiful black. It's kind of the same style, but it's gray now.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Okay.
You say effectively a lot. You accidentally flip off the camera once or twice, and you are the game director of PoE2. Okay.
Okay.
What would you add to the game in 0.5? Anything, a league mechanic, an idea, a weapon, something. What's the one thing that would be like the farmer mark?
Yeah.
Anything.
Oh, like, okay. Well, I mean, I think to answer your question,
yeah.
It's like two parts. Just like an end game, like what they plan on doing essentially is like an end game revamp where like there's actual farms that like pump loot. And I think like the temple as well, like I think if the end game mechanic is like really fun and done well, like the mechanic in itself will be enjoyable, right? Like I had the most fun building my temple. I had the thing where like after I finished building my temple, I was like, I felt like a mother whose kids went off to college, you know, like I had like an empty nest. Like it just felt like I was empty on the inside. Like it's done, you know? So I think that's just like what the game really needs right now is an end game farm that's like really, really like, that's like, it just gives you the dopamine that you want. And not just that, I think if the end game farm would add a new currency as well for us to craft with too.
Okay.
So I think that's just the two things that the game desperately needs right now. And they can be easily solved with like one stone, right? Is just getting a good farm out there for like tinkage or whatever, just like something that gets like the dopamine receptors going a little bit. And then also like some new currencies so that like, you know, the crafting isn't just like, we're kind of back to just Exile, Slam, and Parade again, right?
Right. All right. That's a good double whammy, my man. I appreciate you. This was an awesome chat. Thank you for making the time to do it. I know we like had the schedules all messed up but we finally got it. We sat down, we did it. You closed it out. I thought that was probably one of the best podcasts of the patch so far, man. I appreciate it. Can you give a shout out to what you're doing next? You know, what you have coming for 0.5 or Freesia and 3.28?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I want to play Freesia or not, actually. Are you?
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
I'm a little burnt out. I'm a little burnt out. I'm there's this thing so the thing I'm working on next is there's two things actually. I'm taking a little bit of break with PoE2, PoE in general actually, and I'm gonna do some like IRL streams, like someone in chat. Yeah, I have this little bet going on with a lot of people in my chat about whether or not I can bench 225 before the next PoE1 league. Not Freesia, but like the next 0.28, I think.
Yep.
Or 0.27, whatever.
0.28. And you're right. Yep.
0.28. So I'm gonna be working on that, trying to get back in shape because I have not left my house in probably like 8 months. So my body is like it's not good. It's not good.
Dude.
And then number 2,
225? Sick.
Oh yeah.
You got
I'm trying to get there. I'm at like 100 right now, so I just need to double that.
Dude, there's no way you're gonna do it by 2.28. No. No, it's not happening, dude. Don't bet too much.
It's gonna happen. Like,
don't bet. Oh my god.
I'm on the line for like 200 gifted right now, 250 gifted.
Bro, like, stop raising those prices right now. Don't do it. Don't raise it anymore.
I'll take if anyone else wants to come in, I'm willing to match. And here's the deal: if I lose, I'll either donate the equivalent amount of money to charity or, oh my god, my chat suggested that I had to donate them to, how should I say this?
Oh god.
They want me to, do you know who AVX is?
No. Streamer? Creator?
Yes.
Okay.
She's a very attractive woman.
Oh!
And they want me to donate the subs to her. Oh. Yeah.
Does she play PoE2 or is she just a very attractive woman who streams on Twitch?
Just a very attractive woman.
My god. So you're going to go in and just randomly XTheFarmerX.
Donate like 250 subs.
Oh boy.
But here's the thing.
Okay. All right.
225, no problem. Don't worry about it. All right. Like I just have to think about it. Like I just have to double it once and then add 25 on. Like
it's easy, dude. Is it one rep?
Whatever. Well, yeah. Well, I think I can do like 5. Like,
there's no, bro. What are you talking?
I could probably do 8 would be my guess in a month. Yeah.
How often? Okay. What steroids are you going to take to achieve this?
Natty, completely natty. Maybe some Maybe I'll drink some raw cow milk or something.
Okay, can you? I'm gonna turn notifications on for your stream because I need to see the stream title when you're like, it's 225 day. I'm gonna be watching that.
The last thing I see in life is Talkative Try in the chat being like, I was here.
Dude, okay. Yeah, I'm watching for it. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Okay, what was the other thing? You said there was one other thing.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
The other thing is I used to be a TFT pro, and there's this open tournament that's a LAN once a year. The first year was in Las Vegas, second year was it was in Hong Kong, third year it was in Paris, and they're bringing it back to Las Vegas this year. So actually, if I were to be able to qualify, I would actually be able to go to that. And I'm just working on trying to qualify for that now. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Okay.
Do a little bit of competitive.
I am hyped. That was an unexpected answer, but I'm more hyped than I ever was before. So everybody go over to XTheFarmerX, YouTube, and Twitch. Turn your notifications on. Watch your inbox for 225 day. He has about 1.5 months to make this I'm pumped, dude. I think you just gained a lot of followers to see that happen, dude. All right. You got it. You got it. All right, man. Well, thank you so much. This was a blast. I hope you have a wonderful night. Everybody watching, like I said, go check them out. Like the video, sub. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.